What's going on, guys? Jack here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at these icon swaps. I've been grinding so much to get these completed. My brain isn't even working properly. I'm probably going to miss-say stuff in the video because I feel like I'm hallucinating. I've not had enough sleep. But I started these objectives on Sunday night and I had them done by Monday night. When I say night time, I pretty much mean like 5 in the morning on Mondays. Well, technically Tuesday. So I have been putting a lot of hours into this, and the reason why is I wanted to get the icon as quickly as possible. It actually added more value for me to get the icon quicker, if that makes sense. And I'm going to talk to you again quickly about the first group of icons that you can get within the 12 tokens basically. So as you can see, we have completed all of the objectives, all 13 challenges to get the 12 tokens. The squad battle ones were really easy. I had a lot of players to build the team already. I only had to buy maybe a couple of players for each squad, which was like a couple of thousand coins. But the gameplay was boring. I found the squad battles a little bit boring. The rivals matches were so difficult though, because if you're playing people of your current standard, but you're using a lot worse teams, you're using people out of position, you're not getting the max chemistry, then it was really difficult. Some of the leagues took me about 7 or 8 games to get 3 wins, and some of them I did in like 4 or 5 games, which is, you know, how I'd imagined it would go. But that's why it's taken me so long and why I look so tired, because I had been trying so hard to get them complete. Anyway, as you can see, guys, we have got the tokens. We're going to go over to the icon swaps and we're going to pick up our first icon. I'm so excited because it's my first big player in this game and I'm getting him basically for free. Well, you know, if you take away the fact that I spent about 20 hours playing this game to get these objectives, but nevertheless, they are free, so I think this is a really good promotion. Let me know what you think the next objectives are going to be like. Do you think they're going to be harder? Do you think they're going to be easier? Do you think they're going to be half and half on like squad battles, half and half on like rivals, or maybe something else? I'd like to see some more challenges in rivals that don't rely on winning, so maybe just scoring with particular players, or scoring a set amount of goals with a current division, like Premier League players, Serie A, Bundesliga, etc. I think that would mean less people relegate themselves, because that kind of ruins the ELO system a little bit. But anyway, as I said, I have my tokens. I'm going to go to this page and talk to you about which icons I'm picking. And as you can probably tell by the title, I'm going to be picking Crespo. And I'm going to be telling you why I'm picking Crespo and why he is the best icon. Like, there are some differences in like which icons could suit your team better, but for most people, Crespo is the best icon to pick. Now, I actually done a video a few days ago discussing these icons. Now, I actually said Crespo is not someone I'll be picking because he's not an endgame player, but when I realised that I can get the objectives done in a matter of 2 days, it added more value to me because I didn't have to wait a whole another month or half a month to get to December to get my next 12 tokens to unlock the next player. The only endgame players in this list are Zanetti and maybe Hadji, if you want to use him until, like, you know, for the next 3 to 6 months, but not a proper end game. He's not a proper end game player. And even Zanetti is questionable because we have a lot of nice icon right backs this year. Zambrotta is probably the best icon right back. But anyway, let's look at these icons and let me tell you about them again. Now, Peter Schmeichel, I might do this Schmeichel in the next stage, and I'll tell you why. Schmeichel only costs you 6 tokens. Now, when the next tokens come out, I probably won't need a right mid. I probably won't need a Guardiola. I think I've got the best, you know, I've got Alan CDM at the moment, and he absolutely outshines Guardiola in pretty much every aspect of the game. Ryan Giggs, left mid, or playing someone left wing, I think I could get a player in my team better than Ryan Giggs by the time I get my new tokens. Nesta, someone that has only 70 pace but really low agility. I think, again, I'd rather pick someone like Koulibaly, you know, as a centre-back. In fact, if you compare Koulibaly's stats to Nesta, they're pretty much very similar basically, and he costs you like 40,000 coins. So would I grind extra, you know, to get 9 tokens to go for a Nesta? Probably not. Roberto Carlos, on the other hand, is someone that I'm interested in doing if the objectives aren't as time consuming as these ones I just done. And the reasoning behind that is, if I get a Roberto Carlos, I can strong link him with Neymar. I can build a team around him with Neymar, and that's a big plus. But the other thing is, the 2 other left backs I would be using in this game is Sandro and Telles. Again, they could link up with Neymar, and I think that I could still build a team with Neymar in the future. So I don't need Roberto Carlos, but again, if the challenges are good enough, I will go for Roberto Carlos. And I do play 3 at the back quite often. I think you'd make a good left mid in the 3 at the back formation going forwards more. Patrick Kluivert. Now, Patrick Kluivert, I'd say, is probably just as good as Crespo. He's slightly different in the fact he's a bit taller. I think he's 6'2" instead of 6 foot. They do have similar pace and pretty good shooting. I think Kluivert has slightly better passing. Crespo has slightly better finishing. They're both going to be really good. Now, the reason why Crespo is probably a better pick for most people is because they probably want to be picking up Messi at some stage in the future. You can link him with Aguero as well. There are basically more players in the next few months that you can link with Crespo than you could with Kluivert. Now, obviously, you've got ones to watch Promes, but if you're using ones to watch Promes as your main player, then I feel like your team is just not very good. And again, you could just pick him, that's fine. I'm not telling you that you have to pick the players I think, but this is just my opinion. Now, Klose, Miroslav Klose, now with him, he does lack like the agility that I would look for in players that are attacking. His shooting is insane. What I might actually do is try and buy this player and use him for like, you know, 5 to 10 games and see how he plays, because if he's very good at shooting and I just play really well with him, then I could buy him. But if I just look at his card stats, I'm not really interested in Miroslav Klose. So once I pick this Crespo, I can only pick players on this page for the next group of icons, because I'll only have 12 tokens on the next turn. So that's why I'm talking about these again and going through which ones I would buy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to build these teams, put the icon swaps in there, and we're going to get our Crespo back. If you haven't done this before, I know the first time, if you do an SBC that requires players that are like these bronze players, it can be quite confusing, but you just put these icon swaps players, they're just tokens at the end of the day. Put them in there, put 6 in each one. It doesn't matter about chemistry, it just matters you've got 6 of the icon swaps, and you will get your player back if you've got enough tokens. So of course, Crespo requires 6 in each squad, and that gives us a total of 12 for Crespo. And here it is, finally, as you can see, we have got our Crespo, our first icon in FIFA 20. So excited to use him, see what he feels like. Hold on a second, what's this? What is this? Never do this again. What is that dance? Look at that. That is such a weird dance. Please, EA, never do that again to me. Never do that to my eyes. Right, so this is the team I was using for Weekend League just gone. I'm really happy with the team, but I'm going to make improvements. Obviously, now we've got Crespo. I was actually using Bundesliga players for the other positions that you don't see here. I was using Gnabry, Werner, Goretzka, and also Havertz. So we're going to build a new team around him. What I'm thinking is putting Matuidi in there with a strong link to Dybala, or I can even go for Griezmann because the French link to Matuidi, and he would link up with the right side of the pitch. And then obviously I can go for a Ousmane Dembele in the right wing position. So if I went for Dybala, this is what it looks like. There are some dead links here, but everyone gets the max chemistry of 10. I'm thinking if I buy the Inform, which is the current team of the week, I could buy him, and then over the next course of the week before I sell him again, he should actually hold his value or actually go up in coins. Whereas if I buy the gold Griezmann, he's probably going to lose some coins because I've got to buy him at about 265. He's actually more expensive than Dybala as well. So, alright, now this is what the team looks like with Griezmann. And if you look here, I don't know why, but I like it when I build a team and there's no dead links whatsoever. There's literally no dead links, no red links here. And I loved using Griezmann last year. Griezmann was probably my most used player last year. I'm just talking about his gold card, not his special card or anything like that. I absolutely loved him. I know he doesn't have the strongest weak foot. He has a 3-star weak foot, but his shooting is so good, especially finesse shots outside the box. It's just amazing. So I think I'm going to go for Griezmann here. It's going to set us back about 250 for Griezmann at least minimum. And then Matuidi is about 20, 25k I think. And then Ousmane Dembele could be like 60, 70k. So it's not a cheap team by any means, but it's going to be an upgrade over my previous team. And it leaves me with some coins to trade with, because I still like trading to make some extra coins. Oh, man, I can't find. I've been here for like 5 minutes and I can't get a Griezmann for less than 265,000 coins. I was expecting to get one like pop up for like 255 or something like that, but literally none are popping up. I think it's quite late and there's people just not listing their Griezmanns up. So I think I'm gonna have to go for one that's like 267-ish, because one keeps popping up around that price. We're just gonna have to bite the bullet basically and spend a little bit more, but I really want to use this team. Okay, the last thing I need to do is actually put the chem styles on. I'm going to actually change Lenglet from an anchor to a shadow. I bought him with an anchor and I just didn't want to pay like 5,000 coins to change him to a shadow, because anchor's still pretty good. But we're going to get the extra pace on Lenglet now, especially as I've started playing 3 at the back more often. He needs to have the pace. Griezmann actually managed to get with a hunter, and Matuidi and Allen, I've got engines on them, but I'm thinking if I use Matuidi more as my main CDM, I'm going to put an anchor or even a shadow on him, because that makes him a little bit more defensive, especially if I'm playing like a 4-1-2-1-2 and I'll pick Matuidi to stay back whilst attacking and cover centre. I think that'll be best for him. And of course, the big man himself, we've got Crespo here with the hunter, and I think this is, if you're going to play him striker, you've got to be putting a hunter on him. So as you can see, he's going to have 97 acceleration, 95 sprint speed, which is going to be almost max pace, which is going to be amazing. He's quite a strong player, even though he's going to have max pace, so that's going to be a benefit. His passing is going to be his letdown, so I need to be linking up with Griezmann. Attacking position is going to be 90, finishing is going to be 95, shot power 95, long shots only 80, but I imagine I'm going to be in the box most times I'm shooting with Crespo. And then volleys and penalties are going to be 99, so he's definitely going to be my penalty taker. And this is what I kind of overlooked with Crespo before. I haven't used him much in previous FIFAs, but I obviously played against him quite a lot, and he was good. But the fact that he has 88 agility, 82 balance, and 84 dribbling on a player that's 6 foot tall means he's going to be pretty agile, and combined with the 97 pace, he's going to be insane. I'm also interested to see if I can start scoring some headers now from corners, because it's actually got the power header trait. So if I do manage to get my head on it, it should be more accurate and a stronger header than any of the other players I've been using. So what I decided to do, guys, was play some games in Rivals to get some of my elo back, because I did drop about 100 ratings whilst trying to do those Rivals challenges. And I was recording, but some of the files were corrupt and I don't have really enough to really show you, like do a 2 or 3 minute compilation and talk to you about Crespo. So I figured I'll just talk to you about him myself and my first thoughts on him. And so far I'm really happy that I've done him. 13 games, 8 goals, and you've got to consider as well, I was getting some rage quits. I think I'd have 1-to-1 ratios if I wasn't getting rage quits in like the first half, because other people are still doing their Rivals challenges. Then let me show you the formations that I've been using him in. So I'll start off with a 4-2-3-1. Typically drop back, and for the first like 20 to 30 minutes, if I'm having good success with this, which isn't actually that often these days, I'll switch up to something more attacking, probably a 4-4-2, and see how that plays out. Sometimes I go straight to 3-4-1-2, and I just find it's amazing. Like this, for me, just having all attacking options, having that triangle up front as well, is a lot better than using 4-2-3-1 for me. It's more exciting, and that's what I want FIFA 20 to be. I want it to be more exciting, especially as I'm playing a lot of FIFA this year. But if I need to put more pressure on my opponent, I've been just going to 4-1-2-1-2 with pressure on heavy touch. I've been playing around with balanced attack and fast build-up, but I don't want to go too much into the custom tactics. I just wanted to show you that pretty much every position I've been playing Crespo in has been striker, as you should be. Some of the positions I've been using Griezmann as striker as well, if it's 2 strikers, but sometimes I'll put actually Costa at striker, get in behind, and then Griezmann behind in the cam position, because I like to have Griezmann on the edge of the box, finessing into the top corner. But anyway, as I said, Crespo has been amazing. He feels really good, even with a hunter, not like a maestro or a sniper. He does turn really well. Even in some of the slower gameplay, he doesn't feel too stiff, which is nice. Considering he's only 85 rated overall, I wouldn't even go back in time and hold this player and try to like get another one. I think the next player I want to get should be Messi, and I think I'll be able to get Messi in the next 3 or 4 weeks, which pretty much comes around the same time as the next batch of objectives for icon swaps. Obviously taking into consideration that it will take like, you know, a few days minimum to do those icon swap challenges. So I'm happy that I've gone for the Crespo, linking with someone like a Messi rather than an endgame player like Zanetti, who probably won't give me as much joy playing the game, because who cares about the right back so much, you know? Something I wanted to show you though, as you can see, we actually managed to score a header, and it was from a corner. I can't remember if it was like my 2nd or 3rd game, but it was one of the early games I played, and I scored a header with him. I was like, finally, I can actually complete some of the challenges here. So he is actually very good on corners, especially as more people go short now. So you might find yourself with more open space on the corners, and he positions himself at the front post typically as well, which is good, because sometimes you have it positions them randomly. Really enjoying Crespo. This is my current team for this weekend league, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can finish in the elite. So I have to get, I think it's 23 wins for that. I will be live streaming some of those games this weekend, so make sure you come and follow the stream. I'll leave a link to my Twitch TV channel in the description, top link. If you've enjoyed the video, guys, drop a like. Let me know in the comments which icons you're going for, but I recommend Crespo highly. My plans are also to go for a Roberto Carlos if the challenges are good enough and I manage to do all of the challenges. If not, I'll just pick up a Schmeichel and use him in an icon SBC, because I know for sure they're going to bring out something to put icons in for SBCs. I don't know if it'll be for another icon, but there'll definitely be a point where putting an icon in is a requirement. So that is something to consider if you're going to be doing any SBCs in the future. Anyway, guys, that's been enough from me. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.